Hello everybody, it's Danny and Wanda back from Pecan Grove. Guys, we're here, we're here at Deepsouth, but we've got this big old white peach tree that's been here for years and years. And every year it makes peaches. The wild animals come in here and get it off of it. And this year, I decided not to cut anything around the property here. I decided not to mow. I decided not to do anything. Just let everything just grow up. And when I did that, we got peach trees coming all up under it here. We got one right here that has come up, and it's one of these white peaches. And I told Wanda, I said, we just mow so regular that when these things come up, we cut them off. And now that we didn't mow this stuff, now I see it and I can dig it up to take it over to Pecan Grove. I mean, this is all teaching me a valuable lesson about keeping stuff cut real close all the time. So what I plan on doing, and I know it's the 1st of August, and it's not the time to move it, but I want to move it because I do want to get this mowed eventually. So I want to go ahead and try to dig these up and see if I can do it and get them in some pots here. I've got some good compost I brought from Pecan Grove over here. I want to see if I can dig this tree up and not disturb it, the root system, enough that I can put it in those pots and I can baby it and see if I can get these trees over there from this one, because this thing made big old white peaches. Now, not as good as Mr. Jerry's, okay? I'm gonna just go ahead and be honest. This was just a seedling. It came up from a peach we bought 15 years ago or more, and it just makes big old white peaches, but they're not as prolific and as good as Mr. Jerry's. I'm just being honest, okay? But nevertheless, I still want it, and I want to try to dig around try not to disturb it no more than I absolutely have to, because it's a little tree. I'm sure it don't have a lot of root system on it. And I might be fooled. It might have a whole pile of roots on it. I don't know. But I put the compost in the bottom of the pot here so it has something to grow into. And I don't know what kind of... It's got some pretty good roots on it. My plan is just to sit it down in there like that. Get the grass out of it. Get it where I'm gonna water it in once I get it there, and that'll help me to. Here was, I don't think that might have been one of the roots off of it. I don't know. Probably off the big tree over there. I can't see a tree that little having a root that big. But okay, that one wasn't too bad right there. We're gonna try to. Got a couple more of them here in the yard right here. We got one right here. I'll try to see if I can. There's so many roots in this big tree in here. To be honest with you, I don't see how they're growing at all, because this underneath here ain't nothing but red clay and gravel I had brought in here to fill all this land in here. Let me do this right here. Well, I thought I'd get a little dirt put back in this hole where we won't twist the ankle, but I can see these tree roots everywhere over there. Let's kind of level this back in where it won't be something right here will. You get older like us, you have to watch all this stuff. Okay, so now I got two of my trees up. I see one right here. This weed is trying to take it over. Got some weeds right there. One right here. That's a little tree. Got another little tree right here. I'm gonna go get two more pots. See if we can't get them up. Well, we know one thing. Peaches will grow in sand and rocks.
Put them in good soil, I hope they'll grow.
They die, we put them in that good soil. There's an electrical line right here, but it's in PVC. Not in the center of the pot, but...
So we have 4?
We have 4 of them. Okay. Choose my water setting. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay guys, we're watering in our trees. I brought Ms. Wanda's pineapple sage. She didn't ask me to, I just did it. Because I know she's wanted one over here. What we've done, these are lids for the cattle mineral protein tubs. They're not mineral tubs, they're protein tubs. We don't ever throw them away when we get them every winter. We have a whole stack of them because they're really, really good for doing just what we're doing here now. Setting these pots in, because we have a fire ant problem here in the deep south. And ants, if you set these pots on the ground, ants will build up in them and make an ant bed in it overnight. So we set them in these lids, and what happens is, we actually water this in. I'll come back and I'll just fill these lids up with water. Not only does it prevent the fire ants from going up into the pot, but it also means that we don't have to come out here every day and remember to water all these trees, because these lids, they hold water. Great for setting, like in the winter time, if you needed to bring something, put it in the patio or a garage or something like that, you can set these lids out there, and I'm telling you, they work out really, really good. Now we have 2 peach trees here that I went down by my old chicken pen. So we have 2 big peach trees that's come up down there. I don't know what they are, I don't have a clue. These 2 little bitty ones was growing beside them, so I set them by themselves. We know these 4 right here come out from under the white peach. Now it's possible these could be a white peach. The squirrels just toted them off down there and on their way to the woods. I don't have a clue, I don't know, so I didn't want to get them mixed up. So for future references for me watching this video and I forget which ones is which, these are not the ones that come out from under the peach up by the garage. The reason we're putting these right here underneath all these bushes and trees right here, Ms. Eleanor, the elderly lady that I learned a ton from this woman. She always said, when you're starting plants out like this, don't ever put them out where the sun can hit them. She said you want it where the sun is lightly filtered through the trees here. Hers was up under, she had a giant oak tree, thing must have been 5 feet in diameter, and it covered probably 200 feet. She had all her stuff up under that oak tree, and she let the woods grow up around the outsides of it, and she just had an opening to go into it. And the woman raised some very, very nice stuff in pots. That's where she did all of her plant starting, like this right here. She would take cuttings and stuff like that, and she grew it up under there, and she said that's what you actually want to do. You don't want to put it out where the sun can hit it. So we're following her advice and doing that. And guys, just this fall, we'll know if these have taken well, because we'll see the roots start coming out the bottom of the pots down here. And once they start doing that this fall, we're going to try to transfer these off into wherever we want them at permanently, so that we can have our peach orchard. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have had better luck with planting peaches from seeds, getting a peach tree that makes peaches consistently with little disease, than I have doing the grafted trees. I've probably spent $5,000 on grafted peach trees, and I don't have but maybe 3 or 4 that's actually done anything. All the rest of my peach trees have always been from seeds that I planted. I don't ever know what I'm going to get, but they come up, and Ms. Wanda can verify this. I have one at my house. I put it under the eave of my house where the water dripped off. The tree got to be this big around. It would bear bushels of peaches every year, virtually almost worm-free. No sprays on it, nothing like that. And I put cow manure around it with graze on it, didn't know it, and killed it. I was so mad. I still ain't over it. I don't know if I'll ever be over it, to be honest with you. But that's the reason I tell people, don't go putting cow manure and hay around something unless you 100% know about it. So these, I guess, guys, takes 4 or 5 years when you do it this way, but you know what? I love growing stuff. So, and two, I have a bunch of seeds I got from Mr. Jerry out of the peaches we got from him. I'm going to be potting those seeds up in something, and I'll show you how I do that when I get ready to do it. Getting them ready to sprout so we have them to put out, because I want to do a whole orchard of them. Them things were so good. These here are just for fun. Mr. Jerry's, and he told me I could come get a few trees from him, because he had a bunch of nice little trees started. He told me I could get a few from him to kind of get a head start. I'm looking forward to that, and I just want to make sure we got something good to eat. And his peaches were by far the best white peaches I've ever had. So I'm gonna plant his, and we're gonna take you on that journey when I get to it. But until then, watch how we do this right here. Let's see how it works, and maybe if you can't afford to buy your peach trees and your fruit trees, you'll be able to do the same thing I've done here. These just come up wild. Yeah, I ain't planting nothing here. I'm just being honest. I ain't planting nothing. We're gonna see how they do. All right. One thing I like about this Vego thing here, it's inside my pump house here. Is there's one thing I hate, is winding up a water hose. And guys, this right here sure does make it easy. Okay guys, we're out here at our compost pile. It has broke down so well. Those of you who remember back in the winter or early spring, we showed bringing all these leaves over here, piling them up when we were doing the Vego beds. We were taking the grinder and grinding up the leaves and stuff like that. Well, this is the excess we had left over here, and what I've done is we keep adding to it. We throw in eggshells and our garden scraps, and like the old squash plants there and stuff like that. We keep throwing that in here, and we'll turn it every so often. And guys, it has made, let me show you something here. It has made some of the richest, I mean, this is just some of the richest soil. Still got some matter here that hasn't broken down, full of earthworms. Now, I will say that it is full of earthworms. So, what I'm going to do, around here, I have me 10 of the white peach seeds. that I got from Mr. Jerry's Peaches. Now I know this container is kind of small, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them, because these are just going to be transplanted anyway, and I'm going to stick them in this pot about 2 or 3 inches deep, just all in this pot right here. I'm just going to stick them all down in this soil, because I don't know how many of them will germinate, how many of them won't germinate. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting an extra amount of them in here, because all I really got to do is turn this thing over and shake the dirt off the roots when I get ready to plant them. So now we have them in this pot. Now I'm going to take them around. I'm going to put them by the citrus trees where we keep it watered on a regular basis, and I'm going to soak all this in really, really good. Well, here we are, guys. I have the pot sitting down here next to, actually we picked up, had a friend of ours, Chris, pick up, a place was selling out of their citrus trees, and he picked me up 3 Owari Satsumas and 2 Owari Satsumas, 2 Owaris and 1 Brown Select, because we've had such good luck out of these things. So we have our citrus trees, and you can see our lemons here. We got some lemons hanging here. Let me see if I can figure out where. We got some Satsumas here. Look at this. Trees are doing wonderful. Look at all these Satsumas hanging up in these trees up here. They are doing wonderful over here at Pecan Grove. We've got the whole row of them right here. Plus we've got a whole row right here. And they are in a location where they are getting ample sun and water. We have another lemon down here. This one's doing pretty good. It's got lemons on. Now this is a Meyer lemon, but this is a dwarf. It'll never get really, really big. So we've got quite a bit going on here with our citrus trees. But that's where we put the peaches at. We're gonna see if they will sprout without stratification. Now see that's one thing I didn't do, is the stratification. So I'm going to see, does it really matter if they go through stratification? Because I've got some just being kept cool just in case. I wanted to give you an update on our mulberry tree that we moved right here. We just moved this thing here a week or 2 ago, and look at this, guys. It's starting to put on new growth. We put it down here by our little building y'all saw us build probably 2 years now ago. But look at this. It is taken off. This is one of the old big mulberries. It has these old big giant leaves on them here. This is what we call the river swamp mulberries. These things. I was kind of concerned moving it in July if it would make it, but I see the top right here is putting on new growth. So guys, I'm excited to have the mulberry over here from Deepsouth Homestead moved over to Pecan Grove. All right, guys, we moved all of our Lowquats in the middle of July. I dug the whole tree up with the tractor, the dirt and everything, and brought them over here, had a hole pre-dug. We set them all down in the holes with the dirt still around them without messing with the roots. And it looks like in the heat we're having, they're not trying to wilt, they're actually putting on new growth. It looks like we've been a success at it. Now, this one right here looks to be a different kind than the other 3. The other 3 look pretty uniform. This one looks completely different.
The leaves.
The leaves on it. So we got some from 2 different people. Most all of them are seedlings. I don't think any of them's grafted. So we got some from Grow Family Network, and then a subscriber brought us some from over in either Alabama or Florida, somewhere over there. And we planted them. These are the ones that made it. So this one looks to be different. Now this one had fruit on it last year. We did not even know it had fruit on it until spring, and it had fruit, and it was so good. We was like, okay, we got to have this. You know, we can't do without these. So I just wanted to show you, I moved them in the middle of July. And guys, they're doing fine. Now I'll tell you what, it's time to reveal a secret. When I get ready to move trees, fruit trees, any kind of trees, there's growth times during the summer. If you'll watch trees, during the summertime, you'll all of a sudden see new growth pop out on them. And then it's like they don't put on any more new growth for a month and a half. And then all of a sudden you'll see new growth come out again. But what I do is I wait until I see the new growth, the new leaves starting to bud out in the ends and getting ready to put that new growth on. And I will move my trees at that moment and repot them and replant them. To be honest with you, I have almost 100% success rate doing that. So that's just a little secret that I have. I've never told anybody, but that's what I do to move my trees. And as you can see, these were moved in the middle of July, trees that big in the extreme heat, and it worked. So, a little secret I thought I'd throw out there to y'all. Thank you from Pecan Grove.